welcome to another episode of Wedflics. My goodness, this season is just flying by. I'm Julia Braime, I'm your host, and I'm the founder and editor of Brides Up North, the top UK wedding blog for Northern couples, and the editor of Glossy Unveiled magazine. Today on the show, we are meeting one very talented lady. It's the lovely Hebe of Miss He Bridal. Hebe is a bridal gown designer who creates the most fantastic, fashion-forward, gorgeous, pretty wedding gowns that you ever did see. She's also a super nice person too, and I can't wait to chat with her today. Let's meet her. So hi Hebe, and welcome to Wedflics. How are you today?
I'm feeling good, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you. Everybody, this is Hebe Marsh He, and she is the owner and founder of Miss He Bridal. She's a designer as well as running her boutique. So we're going to kind of dive into both elements of that and how it all works in a moment or two. She's one of our Unveiled Network members, and she's been with us from the start. And what a pleasure it's been to see her brand absolutely fly, even though we've been in a pandemic. So props to you, Hebe. You are doing incredible. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about Miss He and introduce us?
Yeah, of course. So I just want to say, reintroduce myself again. My name's Hebe, and I studied fashion innovation at art school, and I've always been involved in the fashion industry. So we opened our boutique in August 2016. So yeah, so that was that's gonna be our birthday next month. 5 years.
Wow. Is that 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
Well, time's gone. So we launched our new collection in 2018. Yeah. Then Miss He Bridal is always like experimenting with fabric and the silhouettes, to bring the new eye-catching designs to suit all our brides.
Yeah, absolutely. And so did you initially, back in 2016, were you designing from the get-go, or were you stocking up the gowns and did the designing side come afterwards?
No, so when we first start our business, we actually stock gowns from it's like an American side brand. But as soon as we started, then I just realized that wasn't me want to do, that wasn't my aim, wanted to open this boutique. Because literally when we signed the lease and we were preparing to open this boutique, it's actually followed my path of I made and created my own wedding dress.
Wow.
So it's kind of all like a bespoke and individually being created. So it's just as soon as we started stocking that brand, and then I don't think that's the right path for us. So that's why we launched our new collection in 2018 so it's
perfect. Yeah. And are you stocking other brands now in the boutique, but different brands?
No.
So it's just you
literally now. Just Miss He Bridal, the label. Yeah, our own label.
Oh wow, that is special. I thought you were still stocking some other brands, so that is even better than I thought.
No.
So if you're watching along with this on YouTube rather than listening just on audio, you'll see, and for the purposes of people listening along, I'll describe what's behind Hebe. There's just beautiful gowns kind of hanging behind you. She's got the best backdrop ever. But I can see, a bit of skirting there with some net and some silk satins. Oh, and some beautiful, she's moved ahead so we can see some lovely sleeves and some embellishment.
I love sleeves. You can see my sleeves.
Oh yeah. So talking of like signature styles, do you have a signature style with your designs?
Well, to be honest, we don't really like what other bridal companies they do, like signature styles or like most popular. For me, it's just once we designed and created a style, it's just evergreen. It's classy, timeless. Because back in the first collection, 2018, there are some gowns we literally still on the hanger, but they are just timeless. And some brides, if they still want that kind of style, we can just on top of that redesign for them. So it's still new. It's timeless.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So there's something for everyone then, if the bride were to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how lucky are those brides coming to see you, to come into the boutique where the design is based and to be able to look through the gowns and know that everything can be changed or altered, is absolutely perfect. So what is the process then for a bride visiting you? Is it all bespoke or is it off the peg? How does it work?
So when brides, so we have appointments only in this boutique. So when brides made appointment and they just they step into our boutique. So the ground floor is our showroom. So where basically I am today. So they just allow them to view the dresses first. Obviously, this will start with the consultation as well. We just having a friendly chat to know the brides, what they wanted, or any special particular style they want. But no, they don't buy off the pack. But if they wanted to buy off the pack, it's perfect because that's also doable. But basically, we do two sides. So one side's kind of like if a bride want like our design, because we launch our design every year, so they can see our designs, our dresses on the hanger. But on the other side, we also can do mix and match, or even fully bespoke. So that is kind of our special we can do. We obviously we encourage them to working alongside with me, and I'm happy. In fact, I'm happy to do that as well. It's kind of like the whole journey. We've been involved together. Then and it's kind of like they creating their own wedding dress. So it's similar like when I was looking for my own wedding dress. So I started that whole experience as well.
Yeah, it's so nice. And to be honest, I can see like your passion and love for what you do is like just shining through here. Like if anyone's watching that, you can just see it in Hebe's face, how much you love this process. What a special thing to be able to come in and design your wedding dress from scratch, but also have examples to look. Because I always think it's a bit of a scary thing for someone to go who's never worked in bridal before, or had an experience of bridal before, to go, okay, yeah, I'm going to design my dress from scratch. Like, where do you start? And there's a lot of trust in the designer that you choose. But I think the fact that your brides have the showroom where they can see the pieces that you've put together and created in the past, and they can pick from those, or they can take elements of them and work them up, kind of takes that fear factor away. And it means that they can really just enjoy the process of knowing that something's going to be beautiful and well made. And
yeah, I mean, there's no risk for like for fully bespoke dresses, because as I can see, they can try on the samples in our showroom, and they will know what kind of silhouette which suits them 100%. Let them 100% sure that's the style. And as I said, it's like everything can be adopted to suit them the best. So if some brides they like the top from one dress and the bottom skirt from another dress, then what I can do is always I can draw a sketch before we start to the production, and they there's no risk, no pressure. They can literally just can see how their dress would be look like. So yeah,
your sketches are a bit legendary as well. I absolutely love your sketches. I'm the sort of person who would want to frame my sketch, from my dress design. Do you get brides wanting to do that?
Yes. So I actually got quite a lot of frames in our showroom, and both downstairs in the fitting room and the sitting area as well. And I've got all our Miss He brides, if they went with a bespoke or custom made service, so they will get a free sketch. Then they can just frame for, like one of my brides, she said she's just like for keepsake, and she like it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because quite often after the wedding you kind of have to box and preserve your dress in the right paper to keep it safe, and you can't have that on display. It's just not really viable in a normal home.
Like I can see those frames behind you. It's those similar like what you're doing.
Yeah, so I frame all my magazine covers that we produce, because they are art pieces. A lot of work goes into that cover image, which one to pick out of the thousands that we have from a shoot. And it's really tough picking it and then choosing where the text goes. I mean, it's not quite a bespoke wedding dress, but it's, you know, it's a process, an artistic process. So yeah, I'm proud of them. I have them all along here, and then I have a wall opposite me with them all on the wall in front.
Yeah.
So I just can't wait to produce my next cover. It's exciting. Time to get cracking, I think. So what do you find brides normally do? Are they normally going for bespoke, or are they normally taking elements, or is it a mix?
I think it's kind of like a mix, or I can say like a 50, like half and half. So half of our brides, they just like my design. They just once they said yes to the design, one of my style on the pack, and then they obviously they tried out, and they knew that's the style they want. Then we just offer them made to measure for them and starting making the dress. But I think the other % for the bride, they just want something really, really different, and they have very strong, you know, ideas in their mind. They knew that's the style they are going to have on their wedding day. So for those kind of brides, I actually I've been dealing with loads of this kind of brides now, and some of the brides we were talking about this during the lockdown, because which is doable for them because they knew what they want, and we actually just did like what we are doing, chatting on the video, and then I showed some of the fabric samples for them, and I delivered to their house. And then we talking about all the design process, and I drew the sketch for them, and they actually said yes without even leaving their home.
Wow, isn't it crazy how things move, and you know, times kind of necessitate a bit of change, because you'd never have dreamt of doing that before, but now it's
no,
you know, it's a bit easier. So where do you get your inspiration from then? Is it from your brides, or do you know, always looking?
I like this question though. I get asked quite a lot from my brides, and even some, you know, the mother of the brides when we have chatting, you know. And so the majority and my inspirations is from my like daily life, more natural. And on the other side is from the fabrics, you know, some always, because I'm having good relationship with my fabric suppliers. And like even during the lockdown, we always like having chat, just, you know, to ease down our mind a bit. Because, you know, it's the struggle is real during the lockdown.
Yeah.
All our small business owners, we just chat and just looking for communication with each other, and obviously looking for more inspirations as well. And on the other side is definitely my inspirations from my brides, my past, you know, existing brides.
Yeah, I think it must all come together, because like say for me, for the magazine, when I'm conceptualizing the shoots that we're going to be doing, or the things we're going to lay out, or however it's going to all work, I definitely get inspiration from my supplier teams and kind of the external trends a little. But we try and do things that are a bit different and don't follow the trends, you know, sort of push the trends on. So we're not kind of looking to stuff that's already done. Like you're trying to create something new, but within a kind of like an arena of classic, timeless, you know. It's going to look, it doesn't want to be too fashion forward, but it wants to be sort of just right for the time, I think. And I also draw inspiration like you from daily life as well, just sort of things you see, and you know, a walk you might go on, and particular flowers or a hedgerow or whatever. It's really interesting, and it all kind of just falls into place, doesn't it? And you might be with a bride and be like, oh, I know what would be good for this. So I guess it depends on the sort of wedding they're having as well, where it might be, or that sort of thing.
I always think, because in the wedding industry for bridal fashion, it can't be like as quick as the high street fashion. So, and that's the only thing like which I don't like it, you know, like the mass production. So for us, it's always kind of like individually made, and it's definitely a slow fashion. So
yeah, because it's like an heirloom piece, isn't it, that you want to, you know, wear once or twice if you keep doing sort of 2 days, and then keep forever, pass down if you can.
I think I've got some brides that said they even framed their dress as well in their room, and I said that must be a really big room you need.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was thinking like the sketch is more viable, but the dress, Wowzers. You know, they love their dress. That's a good testimonial for you. And so are you making all the dresses then in your studio? How does it work with the production process?
Yeah, so we've got a team. Well, rather than say a team, it's just two really mature ladies seamstress working for me. So basically it's me in the studio here, stored in the showroom upstairs, and we've got downstairs is a fitting room and our living area, you know, like sitting area, and very inside there's my small studio there. So but in the studio, I'm just doing all the fittings and alterations with my brides. And basically when I'm you know, doing my designing process as well. But once we started the production, it's just not in the studio, it's a home base. Two ladies, you know, they just sewings. It's I think so they are.
It's very traditional. It's really nice the way it's made with so much care, like hand stitching, and you know, all the embellishments and things like that is so special. And you just know that like there's so much love that goes into that process, I think, isn't there?
It's kind of like we're putting our soul into the, you know, put our heart, soul, everything into our work. Just love it.
Yeah. So this process obviously takes time. So how long would you kind of advise a bride to start the process before the date for their big day?
Yeah, so it is a long time process, kind of like time consuming work for us. But those really for time frames are those really don't have an early time, or you know, like if I've got a bride, she's getting married like in 2023 now. We actually got quite a few brides, 2023 brides now. They already picked their style. Some are just like my design. Some of them just went with their own ideas. So yeah, there's not really like such an early time for them. Not too early, but don't leave it too late.
That's another point, I think, isn't it? Those brides are on it. Well done to those brides for getting on it and, you know, getting that date nailed down and getting planning, because that's what we like in our industry.
I know.
So like, say someone was like, oh, okay, I'm a bit last minute. What's the shortest lead time you can do?
Shortest time for us, if you still want us to making a brand new dress for you, that is 3 months time.
Okay.
3 months. So that's the shortest time for us.
Yeah. And I guess though it'll depend on what other orders you've got on and the things that you've got in the books already, kind of in the process as to whether you can fulfill those orders. So girls, I guess the message is, you know, for Bespoke, you need to be kind of thinking ahead a little bit.
Definitely, yeah.
Fabulous. And so in terms of kind of trends and things like that, because I would describe you as a fashion forward designer, in the things I see coming out of your studio, on the social media and shoots and things like that, because I love sharing your work. No, well, it's a pleasure from my point of view, but what sort of trends are you seeing coming through? Like, what are your brides asking for that could be kind of seen as a trend? Is there anything like that you're seeing at the moment?
I think I always say for bridal fashion, there's not really 100% a trend, you know, like the high street fashion, you know, it goes and then it's gone quick. I think for our bridal industry, it's kind of like it's definitely timeless. It's always there. But I think on top of that, for our modern brides, they probably would add some elements, you know, like for the modern brides on top of the timeless style. So at the moment, we've been having some of the brides. We actually got 4 brides last week. They all went with a bell sleeve.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it's kind of like what I'm wearing today. But actually, my style, oh my God, I'm not lying, but this top I had nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's interesting. Sleeves I'm seeing sleeves coming through. Like I think the kind of romantic look, the kind of off the shoulders, the puff sleeve as well. It's been very in throughout lockdown. And lots of shoots that I've seen have gone for that kind of Juliet sleeve. That's what I would call it, vibe. That's interesting with the bell sleeve. I haven't seen many bell sleeves yet. And I would always say that you know, elements like the stars and the applique florals are always very popular, aren't they? Kind of in statement dresses.
Yeah.
What I have noticed as well, it's a bit of a return of things like boning, but like visible boning.
Yeah, it's kind of like you know, like the lingerie wear. Then
Yeah,
yeah, I know
yeah.
what you mean. Yeah.
It has definitely returned, because back in the day when I kind of started out, there was sort of there was a real sort of, it wasn't really a trend, but it always kind of had been, like, you know, the internal corset and the corsetry that you'd see on the outside of the dress.
Yeah, it's kind of like a vintage being made in a modern style.
Yeah,
You know, those lingerie style.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
reverted back a little bit to that, because I was kind of glad to see that style, the back of that style, in a funny sort of way, because it made way for all the sort of smooth silhouettes and different shapes. And, you know, it wasn't kind of that cinched in and princess outlook anymore. Bridal fashion really got exciting. But yeah, I think definitely there's some corsetry going on again, and not just kind of the soft corsetry and hidden corsetry that's so clever, but more visible stuff. But it's exciting to hear what kind of you see coming through. But it's nice that your brides are choosing a real sort of variety of styles, I guess, everyone being more individual.
Yeah, I think I always get often asked about you know, what trend, like you just asked me, but I just think everyone's individual, and we have individual different body shapes, and everyone has their own personality. So I just think follows your heart, and you will be lovely on your wedding day with all your hair makeups, with all the family loved ones surrounding you. It's just gonna be a fab day. You're going to enjoy it. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's so special. And like the love will shine out of you anyway, but just kind of to have a beautiful dress to wear as well is just like the icing on the cake, isn't it? And shoes also.
oh yeah. I know. I was wearing a pair of big heels from Jimmy Choo shoes. Ooh.
Nice, nice. Do you know, I've never had a pair of Jimmy Choos, and I think it's about time that I invested
Yeah,
in
get
some.
one next time. Let's put on your to-do list.
Yeah, well, it's my 40th next year, so I might kind of have to shock my husband with a request for some Jimmy
Yeah.
Choos, I think. Go the full Sex in the City, you know, at 40.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing though, size-wise, you can make a dress for anyone.
Yeah, so we don't just like order you or make you a standard size. There's no, because as I said again now, everyone's individual. We all got different body shapes. As of me, I'm being petite. I think that's why I went with just created my own wedding dress. So all the dresses will be made to measure, whatever it's a bespoke gown or you're choosing from my design, it's going to be all individually made for your size, for your measurements.
Oh, that's so nice for the brides coming in who have like, and does go both ways and in lots of directions, actually, those sort of worries. So it could be plus size worries, it could be being petite, it could be being really tall, it could be being really short, you know, it's or big hips or big boobs or whatever. It's all kind of just, it's all in here to start off with.
Yeah.
But
so I think that's what we are here for them, you know, to be just their measurements, not anyone else. So
yeah, and that's normal. It's normal to have varying body shapes and sizes. So I think it's good that with the service you provide, you are just kind of taking any aggro out of that process and allowing them just to enjoy the dress shopping process without having to worry about size and shape and hang-ups, basically. Let's talk pricing, because this all sounds very amazing and expensive, and it should be expensive. But what's your sort of price point?
you know what? It's to be something to be truly made for you is nothing. It's not really that much expensive because, as you can see, we are still at the very early stage for our small business. So we always want to, you know, to get in there first, and our price is always very reasonable. Only because I can hear some brides from like a Liverpool, because we are in the middle of like Liverpool and Manchester area. So we got some girl from Liverpool or Manchester area. Then they when they heard how much price, what's the price of us, they said, wow, they thought they're gonna be a lot more than that, but it's actually
Yeah.
really, really reasonable. And as I said, because we are in a small town, it's only in Wigan, northwest area, we don't really want to charge like over to the top to our local brides.
Oh my goodness. So you're going to have a queue out the door in a minute. But you know what? I think you need to put those prices up. The brides listening will be like, no, but your quality levels and your customer care levels are so fab that, you should I can see your prices going up very soon, Hebe. But
yeah.
so,
I think it's on our to-do list as well. It's definitely will be open in maybe very soon. I don't know.
Yeah. So go see Hebe soon, ladies. That's all I'm saying.
It's up.
Yeah, but I think obviously it's hard to kind of set prices because each dress is different. But would you say your bespoke dresses are kind of in line with sort of off the peg in other stores?
So the bespoke price, is that what you mean? Yeah, the bespoke dress, the price, the costume wise, it's definitely will be slightly higher than the original sample and the collections we're having here. Obviously, the more, it's kind of like time consuming, and you're gonna have loads of patience to, not for me, for our brides as well, for bespoke brides. They're gonna have lots of patience to working along with us, and the time and they how many times they're paying to our visit our store, and not only just that, and once the dress been made, you're gonna come back for fittings, and probably there are quite a lot of times involved for fittings and adjustment.
Yeah, but you're not. But you're. What I'm kind of trying to say is it's not kind of extortionate compared to a dress you would just kind of buy from a designer in another shop. It's the process is very special, but you do.
It is, yeah.
Wow. I mean, if I were a bride to be, I would be paying you a visit for sure, for sure. So, and do you know what as well? It's really lovely that you get to do all those fittings and all the kind of try-ons, and I guess you're doing like a mock-up of the dress in like a toile first and things like that. So the bride really gets to enjoy the process as well.
Yeah, they really enjoyed. I actually got some brides, a bride from the past. She is a teacher, but I received a message from her. She said, "Hiya Hebe, I just want to drop a message, say, because during the pandemic as a teacher, she said it's just been struggle. It's so hard for her. But I think because for what reason I posted her some of her pictures, her wedding pictures on our social medias, and she said for some reason she just went on our social media and had a look. I kind of like meant to be happen. Then she said that just reminds me, all those happy faces, memories, just brought all the joy back. So she said that's made her day.
Oh, that's so lovely, isn't it? And obviously I've seen some of the testimonials from your brides in the work we've done together, and they are glowing. So I love the one that says something like, everybody needs a Hebe.
Oh my God, that is literally my first bride. She literally, we opened our boutique, yeah. So my God, I just would, what, I would like to take this opportunity to say thanks to all our like past existing brides. They are lovely. It's when it's nothing like when you just buy a dress from us. It's kind of like we are friends now, and even a couple of years now, because now will be our 5th year now. But those brides, they actually got married like quite a few years ago, and they still followed my path, still on my social medias, and still give me even a little likes, comments. That just means so much,
Yeah, they're part of your family now.
Yeah. So yeah, lovely.
Amazing. So what's next for Hebe? Are you just going to keep doing what you're doing, or have you got plans for world domination? What's in the pipeline?
So for now, I'm like what you said, you are preparing for your new issue, new magazine now. So I'm preparing for my new collection. But actually, my new collection has been finished, completed. Yes. So I'm just waiting for to be shoot. So that's the most difficult part. One of the difficult part for me, to get them shoot nicely or shoot what I
right.
want.
Okay, well that's my job, so we'll sort that out for you.
Yeah, okay. So my new that's one of the to-do lists for me for my new collection shoot. And probably for our label, we are looking at doing some wholesale sites.
Wow, okay,
Yes.
exciting.
We don't have any stock yet, but me and my husband, my partner, he's working on that as well, because he is another guy. Like he has his own job though, but he's helping me out, because you're gonna never do everything by yourself.
No, of course not.
So yeah, so I hope in the soon future we can have a few of the
Wow.
maybe UK or maybe in EU. Well, you don't know. So
that's exciting. That is world domination. You are actually planning world domination for your label. That's brilliant. I didn't know when I asked the question. So good luck to you. And what's been your proudest moment so far?
Well, one of the proudest moment, I would say that is when Brad said yes to the dress, obviously. Then after they got married, they sent a testimonial to you along with all their beautiful wedding pictures, which I'm just receiving this week. Wow, loads of pictures being falling into my emails, and I've got some really, really good, reviews from both on Google and Facebook as well, which I really like to thank to all those brides, who took time, after their big day. I can imagine they must be tired, they need a good sleep, but they still took their time to, to give me some, writing something about me. So I really appreciated it for that. But maybe for the label side, for my most proudest time, I think it has to go back to my collection. So my new collection, which is for the 2022 collection, which we already just been made, just waiting for the shoot. But as a fashion, because I'm always being involved in the fashion industry, so I know fashion has become the second largest pollution, in the world. So when we're working on our new collection, sustainability has always been on top priority for us. So from the new collection, you can see some bridal accessories like what we made, like bridal veils, tops, and even those bridal turtle bags, and all be made sustainably made from
wow, that's excellent.
off-cut materials from the men wedding dresses.
Wow, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And
what's your new collection called? Do you have a name?
Oh my god, I actually got some option A, option B, option C. I don't know yet.
Oh wow. So
I'm actually working on it, but I really, really can't wait to show everybody once it's been, slowly getting there.
I'm so intrigued. So I love the sustainability approach. I think that's great, particularly from everything I'm about is kind of about keeping things local, supporting your small businesses, your independence, keeping things sustainable, and just kind of being good people. And I think that's why you're doing so well, because you're just a good person who is just doing good things in your niche. And that's why your brides love you and they're writing such lovely reviews, because you're not kind of in it to sell them a dress they're not going to love. You want them to love their dress, and you won't stop until they do, and you're thinking about the world and your place in it. And I think that's just also commendable. And I meet so many lovely people like you in our industry, and we're just kind of just chipping away at the world, aren't we? And trying our best.
Yeah, trying our best. That's all that we can do.
And we're all knackered because no one stopped working at all, even though
I actually work absolutely knackered, because I work both Saturday and the Sundays. So it's I was knackered.
Yeah, as if like we could have all taken a break, but we didn't.
I really can't wait. I really can't wait to go in somewhere now, to be honest.
Yeah. What were we thinking? Like not taking advantage of that break. Anyway. So Hebe, where can brides find you? Can you tell us your web address? And I'll drop it here.
So our website, you can find us on www.miss-he.com, or you can find us on social medias like Instagram, Facebook, or Pinterest.
And what's your @ for Instagram?
My Instagram is Miss He Bridal.
Perfect. So I'll pop those on the screen here. Please do go and have a look. You can see some of, if you're watching, you can see some of Hebe's designs sort of teasing you behind her there, but go and check out her Instagram and get ready for the new collection. But we'll be sharing that as soon as we can. So Hebe, thank you so much for being my guest today. It was such a pleasure chatting to you.
Me too. I had a really lovely chat with you.
Oh, thank you, and I'll see you later.
See you, Julia.